Hey guys, this is Jason
This is
Douglas.
Adam MacArthur, voice of Yuji Itadori.
This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe.
This is Phil Parsons, voice of Kenny the Ripper Ackerman.
It's Merc Nguyen. You're watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Fleeboy.
What's good, everybody? You already know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one, Fleeboy Jetson. And you're watching Voice of the Heroes. So if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, click that notification bell so you can be notified for upcoming videos and conversations with your favorite heroes and villains from around the world. Trust me, we got you locked in on discussions, interviews from all over the world. And today we have a very special guest. He has been in anime shows like possibly the greatest Alchemist of all time, Fearing, Beyond Journey's End, One Piece, The Legendary Hero is Dead, The Apothecary Diaries, Kaiju number 8, and a bunch more. Let's welcome Zac Loera to the show. To the show. How you doing?
How you doing? Dude, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Hey, thanks for coming. Now, just running down some of the anime shows you've been on. Man, Crunchyroll got y'all locked in. The Apothecary Diaries, Kaiju number 8, Fearing. You're in all three of those, and they're all nominees for Anime of the Year. First of all, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Second of all, do you got a favorite you want to win?
Dude, favorite? I mean, I'm partial to kaiju. I mean, I love it. My wife loves it, you know. Plus the songs just slap. I mean, I'm kind of partial to kaiju. I think kaiju's got it. I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I hope Kaiju does get it. Big shout out to everybody who worked on that project, whether it was Ben Stigmeyer, who else was on that show? So many names are slipping my mind
Yeah,
right
man,
now.
there's so many. I mean, he's a great director. He casts everything perfectly. Ben, I think I do remember auditioning for his character, thinking like, oh man, I feel really good about this. And then, obviously not getting it, but I was like, it's perfect. Ben is perfect for that role.
Oh, Adam MacArthur's in there. Big shout out to Adam.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the people on that show are really talented, and I think it's really coming together. I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 2. And they got a movie coming out soon, right? I believe.
It came out April something, I think.
Oh, it's out. It's officially out. It came out last month.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was tagged in a bunch of things on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I guess the movie came out. So yeah.
Is your character in that one?
He is.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's talk a little bit about your character, matter of fact, in Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, man. I was auditioning for the show and thinking like, man, this like I hadn't read the manga or anything. I was thinking, man, this show seems like it's gonna be like the next big show, you know? And I really, really wanted it. I mean, like I had my wife look over my auditions. I was like, yeah, please tell me that there's something here. Um, and I didn't get any obviously of the main group, but Sean was like, I've got something for you. In fact, I think Brandon told me before. He was like, hey, you might get a call on something. And I was like, okay. And then maybe like right after that, I got an email saying to come in for Kaiju. I think episode 6 is when my character first appeared, and then he was in it through the rest of the show. But yeah, dude, being on Kaiju is like it's crazy how I think a lot of the stuff that I've done is kind of like stemmed from that. Just kind of being more in a position where people can hear me more. But just being a part of that, and now that like my son is starting to get into anime, and now that he's kind of like getting more into it, once he grows up a little more, I'll start introducing more of these shows to him. But yeah, dude, it's crazy just thinking about being in that show. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie. From the casting to the ADR, big shout out to Sean Gann. He really did his numbers on that. Friend of the show, he was on here before, and it's been like that in not even just in the industry, but in some of these animes, you might voice one character in season 1, and you never know, Sean might bring you back for a completely different role. So you
Yeah.
might even get more than you asking for with this, and I'm excited to see season 2. Now, what did you like most about Kaiju number 8? Was it the kaijus itself? Was it the dynamic between the team and them coming together for their friend?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question because I mean, aside from the animation itself, which I think the animation is amazing, there are a lot of dynamics to these characters, like with Ben's character, or with both the Kaiju number 8 and Kaiju number 10 going at it, or even Landon McDonald. He's also in the show. He voices. God, I can't remember his name. He's my captain. I just call him captain, so I just call him captain. But just seeing kind of like their backstories and what led them to be really adamant about joining the force and fighting against the kaiju. I don't know. It's just I think it's so beautiful. It sounds so cliche, but that's where I kind of felt like like, oh yeah, they're gearing up to fight the bad guys. It's gonna be a good one. I think that's what really solidified my love for the show. Again, aside from the animation, because I think the animation is amazing.
Yeah, my friend Skateboard BP, man, he talked so much about this show before it came out. He reads a lot of manga, and he was like, "Hey, man, when this show comes out, it's gonna be really, really good." Now, me, I don't know too much about the manga, so I don't know how long the story is or if it's ongoing even as we speak. So I don't know how many seasons we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see what they do with season 2. Is Sean coming back to direct the second season as well?
Yes. Yeah. He tagged me in something recently. I think when the posters for season 2 came out, he tagged me in those. So yeah, he will be coming back for that. Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta get him back on the show to talk about season 2, man. I'm
Man,
excited.
even just reading the manga, I mean, now that I have kind of fully immersed myself into it, season 2 is going to be kick ass, I think.
I can't wait
So,
for it because I love kaijus, man. Ever since I was small, whether it was Godzilla, King Kong, even
mhm.
even I love even the aspect of robots like
Yeah,
Pacific Rim,
love that.
Transformers, things like that. Will we ever get something like that in here? I don't know if you read the manga, but will the team ever make like a whole robotic suit to fight some of the kaijus? Or no?
I don't want to give too much away for people that don't read the manga, but it does get really good. I'll just leave it at that. If you haven't read the manga, you need
I
to, but it
can't
does get really
wait,
good.
man, because that's my favorite part, man. That's what makes me love Pacific Rim so much. That's like a guilty pleasure of mine to watch
Yeah.
almost monthly. I turn it on even just to go to sleep with it. I love that movie, man. So I'm into kaiju, things like that. But let's switch gears to now. I don't know too much about the show or your role in it, but from what I've seen, it looked like you main character material and possibly the greatest
Yeah.
alchemist of all time. Tell us a little about the show because I love recommendations and
Yeah.
having conversations with voice actors. I got to learn so much about Fearing on this show.
Hmm.
I got to learn about Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world, and also with story of Wandan's sword.
Oh yeah.
I was told about those shows on the podcast, went and watched them, and fell completely in love with it. So tell our audience and myself, of course, about this anime and your role in it.
Yeah. So the story kind of revolves around this guy called Takumi. I do voice Takumi in the show.
Let's
Um,
go.
it was yeah, my first lead role, which was really cool. Um, he is a 40-year-old salaryman that gets kind of isekai'd into this world where they can choose different jobs and classes, that kind of thing. I mean, isekais. He chooses to be a producer, so he goes into the world of alchemy. He meets a lot of fun people along the way that kind of join his party in that. More like a slice of life harem kind of thing. Um,
Something my
and
wife would love.
yeah, I mean, my wife, again, she doesn't really watch a whole lot of anime, but she really did enjoy the show. Not just because I was in it, but I think the show itself was really good. There are aspects that could be, as people listen, I'm sure that they're like, oh, this show's kind of but I understand because like some of the animation, yeah, you could tell like they could have probably done a little more with it, but I think the show itself is really, I mean, I loved every bit of it. I mean, uh, just working with Jerry Jewell was the director. The sound engineers, they really, made me sound better than I feel like I did. Um, I mean, even just to kind of give backstory, like I know from Jerry telling me that producers of the show didn't want me on there because I don't really sound like a guy that could do main character who's who's isekai into like I think in the manga it was 15 or 16, and then the show I think it was maybe 17. But they were going back and forth, and Jerry was really adamant about casting me to the role, and I love Jerry for that. But choosing the voice was different because, like, again, he's a young guy, and you can kind of see him in the poster and all that. He's small, so choosing the voice for him, I kind of went along the line. I tried to do like my best like Bryce Papenbrook impression, and it kind of just, and Brandon, he gives me crap about it all the time. He says, you kind of sound like Mickey Mouse. I'm like, that's not what I was going for, but it's just like Sophia and Maria over there. I haven't seen them in forever. Maybe they're in some other town maybe I'm in the wrong house. I don't know. But that, just being a part of that show and doing that, and different from my normal characters, like when I did the Overlord movie, that is, my character was like really brutish. He was a wolf centaur thing. So it's definitely outside of my normal characters, but that's what I really loved about it, is that it pushed me to do something that I wasn't really comfortable with. And I think Jerry kind of picked up on it too, especially in episode 1. You can kind of hear my voice go from maybe like a more natural speaking tone to what I actually wanted the character to be. So, I mean, I don't know. I think you should watch it. I think it's a really good show. Even the manga was really good. I think they did cut it down quite a bit when it came to the show. We missed a lot of like world building and relationship building that Takumi kind of went through. But I don't know. I'm partial to it. It's my first main character.
Now you gotta
really
be. That's right, man. You gotta stand 10 toes down, because at the end of the day, God willing, this ain't gonna be your last one either. So it's a stepping stone and a learning experience for you, and it's a check mark. That's somebody that you could put on a poster for a convention or something, that people who really enjoyed the show. I'm definitely gonna check it out with my wife, because we've been looking for stuff to watch, and I've been trying to get more into the slice of life. I'm already into isekai, excuse me.
Yeah.
But adding a slice of life element to it or something like that would be probably really dope. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. And I love the whole like Alchemist or dungeon type aspect, fantasy stuff like that. All that's right up my alley. But I do want to talk about the characters itself and developing the character, which I heard you talking about. What was the most challenging part of that?
The most challenging part, and somebody called me out on that on Reddit, it was that that felt like at times I was so focused on getting his voice right and consistent throughout the show that there were parts that I felt like I was just reading, the script as opposed to acting through it. That was probably the most difficult part. I mean, aside from like, when he starts screaming and getting all yelly and embarrassed, his voice gets even higher. So it's I think that was the hardest part. But also, like, if you listen to it in the Japanese, I think the voice actor that voices Takumi, he's also in Chainsaw Man, and you can kind of hear his voice also kind of fluctuating throughout the show. Like when he first starts, he's kind of like it is more of like it's a 40-year-old guy in a 17-year-old's body, and then his voice kind of morphs into an actual 17-year-old, and then throughout towards the end of the show, he does it again where he's coming back down in his tone. So that I had a choice of either following that or staying through with my original choice. And I think I ended up just kind of going down the path of both, to where I kind of kept through with that the tone that I originally set, and still kind of honoring what the Japanese did. So I think that was the hardest part, honestly. I mean, that was my biggest fear going into the show, is that people are going to hate it. They're not going to listen to it because, my voice is just not right for the character. But Jerry, even after the show, I was like, Jerry, I mean, do you have any regrets with casting me in this? He's like, not at all. He was like, you did fantastic. I was like, thank you.
Hey, that's what it is, man. And regardless of what, I know a lot of voice actors, right? I know two type of voice actors. One, they go in the booth, they do their job, and they're on to the next project. And then you have the others who critique their work. And sometimes when you go back and you watch the shows, or you're listening for the mess ups, so you can't hear what other people hear. So you critique yourself even harder. You're like, man, if I would have done this a little more, and then you got some voice actors who don't even watch the show. Like, not calling no one out, but there's been voice actors I've talked to, especially on the Naruto series. They went in, did their Naruto character, but never seen the series. They know about their characters through like clips on YouTube or stuff that they see, but they never actually seen the show. And that's why when I first started this podcast, it was kind of difficult for me, because I would set up questions for the interview where we're talking more about the anime itself instead of the voice actors, and I would get shallow answers like, I don't really know, or I really didn't want. So it kind of picks itself apart in that aspect, and it's like, okay, then you have voice actors who's really like invested into that show. Like, oh, I worked on it. I want to know everything about it. I want to read the mangas. I want to get familiar with the character. Stuff like, who does that a lot? And I'm thinking in movies and stuff like that. Like the guy who played the Joker, or like he really like went full into the character where he was acting like the character 24/7, reading comics, things like that. So that's basically where I'm getting at. And it's like you're going to critique yourself even harder because you're sitting there listening to every small detail. So, I think it's an awesome character for not only your resume, but for your catalog, not only for your catalog, but also for a personal experience. Because now you done did the kind of, younger man or teenage voice. And now, hey, next time you might, and that's challenging. That shows range, because like you say, you have a more like deep, dense voice. Like, so I respect it for it, man. I'm excited to hear it. I'm gonna give my own opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, opinions are like, everybody got one, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, kind of going into what you were saying too, like doing the research and things like that. Like, yeah, there are characters that I didn't do research for, that I just went in and did it. Like, I think it was, it's unclear to me whether his name was Regan or Negan, the undead adventurer one. I think that's what I did. I didn't research anything for that character. Just they said, hey, we need a deep voice, and I went in and did it. And so, I mean, if you ask me questions about that show, like, I don't know, because I didn't see the show. But
you're talking about Dead Mount Death Play?
No, not that one. I don't know who I did for that one. I probably along the same lines. But I mean, unless the character for me is, it's, I guess, a bigger role that people are looking forward to seeing. I'm not going to do as much research into it. I'm going to do enough to where it's comfortable for me. Like with Alchemist or Kaiju, or I mean Overlord, I did the same thing. But like there are times where, like, okay, you have to kind of make a decision. Like, do I want to spend all this time going through the manga, going through all of the pieces of literature that could be on about this character as Wikipedia, or do I want to kind of make my own character based on how I see him and what's happening in the scene? Because I mean, we as voice actors, we only have 15 seconds or so to actually prepare for the actual read, because we don't see a script until we get into the studio. So they're like, okay, this is what's going on. They play the Japanese, and then we do our part. But I get it. I mean, I understand where people are coming from in that sense. I don't think I would do that with Naruto. I think I would I'd be reading the hell out of some stuff about Naruto. But yeah, I mean, at it's so involved that if I did that all the time, I don't think I would have time to like enjoy any of these other shows that I'm watching, like Soul Leveling or, anything like that. So there's got to be a line, I think.
Speaking of roles and stuff, right? So you checked off a couple of things off your bucket list from, creatures, beasts, teenagers, um, side characters, things like that. Is there a dream role you still have in mind, or something that you would like to tackle further in your career? Like, hey, man, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing this type of character, or you know what? If they ever adapt this comic or manga or movie into a show, I'm definitely tuning in for that.
There are auditions that I've done in this past week with shows that are coming out that I can't obviously talk about.
Yeah, you can't talk
But
about
if I did get something on any of those shows, I think it would be life changing. I think that those characters still kind of fall into my parameters. But
what are your strong points? What do you feel like are your strong points?
So, I mean, I come from like I was in a death metal band for a while. And so like screaming is something that that I feel like I do well. I kind of abandoned that on Overlord. I got too in my head with it because I was working with Mike McFarland. And I have a whole like cringy backstory about, how him and I first, interacted. But I guess I got too in my head in there. So like I wasn't screaming like I should have been. And I damaged my throat. I could taste, the blood in the back of the throat doing some of the voice. So I actually hired a coach out of England to kind of help me kind of stay in that zone when I need it the most. And he's been great. He's been, really helping me with that. But as far as like getting a character that I really want, I mean, I would love, and I have done My Hero Academia, the Vigilantes show that recently came out. I really, really wanted to get into, just the main show, My Hero Academia, because that I love the hell out of that show. Just any character on that show would have been great,
That is a great show, and the franchise itself is so beloved.
Yeah,
like man, there's so many great characters in that show. Those shows like that remind me of shows like Blue Lock and stuff like that. Like all the side characters could almost potentially be the main character. Like that's how good they are.
Yeah, and they're so unique in their designs and what abilities they have. It's so cool to me, just having a quirk. It just sounds so cool.
Hey, with all the story they got, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. Did the manga end or did the?
I think the original one ended. The My Hero Academia run for sure ended. I don't think Vigilantes. If it did, then I'm mistaken. But
no,
I do know they got a bunch of spin-offs. Yeah, I do know they got a bunch of spin-offs in the works.
Yeah. But yeah, that I haven't caught up on those shows. I've been, I mean, my list is like it's endless. I have to catch up on some of these shows.
What are you currently watching?
My buddy, I just did 2B Hero X.
Oh, that's my joint. That's my favorite joint right now. I love that show.
I'm going back tomorrow for more of that. But I just started that one today. So I need to get caught up on that. And I need to also finish One Piece because I haven't caught up with the new arc. I think I ended in the Wano arc. But my wife is going to wait for the live action because she doesn't really connect with, I guess, the animation style of the One
Oh
Piece, you know?
man, me and wifey on the same page. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm no disrespect to One Piece fans, right? No disrespect to the show, the people who work on it. I think it's an amazing project, but at this moment in my life, I don't have the time to start over. So when the live action for Netflix came out, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So now
Yeah.
I know if I enjoyed that, of course I'm gonna enjoy the anime. I just don't have time to watch it because I got so much stuff going on. But I will tell you this: they're planning on making the remake for Netflix, like redoing the whole series.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I will be on board for that episode 1.
Yeah. And because if you did go back and start, it's like a full-time job. I mean, there's like what is it, 1,200 or 1,300 episodes, something like that. I mean, I think I read somewhere where a guy was like, "Hey, I'm starting One Piece today. I'll check back in whenever I get caught up or finish or whatever." And it took him like 9 months to get back. I think he was watching every day. It took him 9 months to come back. And I thought that there's no way I could do that. But you know,
Hey man, shout out to all the One Piece fans. I ain't mad at y'all, man.
yeah,
Rock
no,
out, y'all.
dude, good
They
on
the
you,
goat.
dude.
They
But
the goats, man. They
yeah,
got it right now. I think low key. I think Dragon Ball recently reclaimed the title as the most popular or bringing in the most income for
yeah,
anime. But they've been the goats for a long time, so I gotta salute y'all on that. Now every hero has an origin story, right? And I kind of heard some of yours through your brother's interview.
mhm.
But I would like to get your insight on it and how you came up voice acting, or what made you, what inspired you, what made you decide, like, hey, you know what? This is what I want to do.
Yeah. There were shows, I'm sure, Brandon went over it too. There were shows that we were watching, like Inuyasha and stuff back on Toonami, that were pretty influential into, us really wanting to get into that. Um, my where I was a, an anime enjoyer back then. But I hadn't really kickstarted my passion to voice act anything until I think it was Full Metal Alchemist, and Fairy Tale, which is another show that I would love to be on. Um, those two shows, like with Todd Haberkorn, or uh, even the stuff that maybe Vic Mignogna did, or just listening to them back in the day, it was like it was I was like, damn, I want to do this. And I think when I was in college, I was majoring in theater, and then one day I was just like, I don't think I need to have a theater degree to do what I want to do. So I was going to school in Missouri. I came back, and just started going really heavy in theater. And then I met Sean Gann doing a show called Elephant Man, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come do some voices for Funimation?" And I was like, and for me, I was like, "Yeah, yeah, dude, yeah. Is it called Funimation? Yeah, I'll be there." And but then like I got in my car and I was just like, I was like, "Yes, finally!" Because then I think Brandon, I think he got called in. I got called in maybe a couple weeks after him, I think, and that was, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. And we started on One Piece, and it was the best time. I Somebody recently tagged me on the characters that I did back then, and I was like, damn, that sounds so bad. I don't know how they kept bringing me back, but Joel McDonald was doing it at the time, and he kind of the guy. He's a saint. I don't know how he kept calling me back, but
Yeah, man, he called you back. Well, I was looking at it on IMDb, and you're in like 39 episodes. As you got some roles, and then you got, of course, some additional voices. But
yeah,
then, I believe in 2023, you had Papa's, and that was in the
yeah.
the Gear 5 joint.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Papa's he's such a weird character. When Emily brought me in for him, she was like, he's really high energy. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And she was like, she's really high. And I was like, okay, I can do it. And so then like I did my first couple of reads. I thought I'm already sweating in the studio. I thought this This is solid. And she's like, I want more. And I was like, all right.
Let's
So
go.
backwards had to go through it all, but yeah, I mean, the first person that brought me back from my first name role was Fujin. I think it was my first name role as Fujin in One Piece, and that was Mike. That brought me in for that one, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story. I'm sure he's fine with it. I think I've told another podcast to you before, but I back again when I was like aspiring to be a voice actor, I was like going to conventions, talking to the people that I wanted or needed to talk to. I was taking classes. I was doing any of the auditions that they had, there at the conventions. And I remember there was a convention with Newman Pittman, Mike McFarland, and I think maybe Todd Habercorn was there. But I was going up to each of them, paying my money, taking pictures, whatever, and saying like, what do you think? What should an aspiring voice actor do? And of course, they're all going to give you like, oh, just try your best. Of course, they're not going to be like, this is exactly what you need to do. Because then it's just competition. I get it. But after hearing that a couple times from different voice actors, I was like, whatever. I'm going to go up to Mike, and I'm just going to tell him exactly how I feel. And gave him my $20, took a picture with him, shook his hand after, and I was like, one day I'm going to work with you. And he was like, okay. And then that was it. and then when he brought me in for that character, I didn't know it was going to be Mike. And so I go walk into the studio and I look over and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, it's Mike. And so like, we went through all of the episodes with my Fujin character. And then after that, I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I went up to you at a convention, shook your hand and said I was going to work with you one day. I don't know if you remember that. He was like, actually, I do. He was like, you're one of like 3 people that's ever done that and has followed through with it. He was like, that's really cool. I was like, thanks.
Hey, that's pretty dope, man. You threw that in the universe and
Yeah.
it really manifested. That's actually dope, man.
Yeah, it was. I look back on it now. I'm like, damn, that's cringy as hell. But it worked out. So,
Hey, it worked out. It worked out in your favor. And
Yeah.
sometimes you got to speak things into existence. Like you
Yeah.
got to have the courage to actually say it because if you're just thinking on something and constantly overthinking, you're never going to get it done. But when you're acting on something, that's when the worst thing you could do is fail. And
Yeah.
it's always a stepping stone to me. Like, even in anything in life, the worst thing you could do is ask. What's the worst somebody's gonna say? No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I mean, I even now like I get so many messages from people on different sites that are like, hey, how did you get your start? What do I need to do? And I'm like, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing right now, which is trying to find out how. I was telling the same thing. Classes, theater is a big one because I mean, like that's where you kind of learn like character development and if you have stage fright, getting over that stage fright, because that was a big thing for me when I was growing up, is that I was so afraid of being in front of a microphone that I didn't want to do any of that. So I had to kind of just do it enough to where I broke myself of it, and then eventually things just kind of fell into place, I think. So
I love that, man, because a lot of people, they chase their dreams and they stop running. They don't finish
gotta
the
keep
race.
going.
And I tell them, man, sometimes you can't think about it as a race. You got to think about it as a marathon and
Yeah.
just keep running until you finally get your turn. But speaking of a couple of things, right? You talked about a couple of animes in your childhood that you was watching that inspired you. What are your top 3 animes of all time?
People are gonna hate it. I know it, but guilty pleasure, and one that I will always go back to is Sword Art Online. I love that show. I I think yeah, it's an isekai or isekai-esque. Just being that you can like, the game looked so cool, and I was like,
Yeah, the game's off fire.
I saw the first episode, and I was just, and like it ended, and I was like, I'm ordering a pizza, and then like I ordered a pizza, and like I watched the rest of it. It was so incredible.
Hey, full honesty here. I don't know which episode it was. I can't remember right now, but Sword on Online was the first anime to actually make me cry. And I think it was the episode where the girl, she was the best swordsman
Hmm.
around. And then in real life, she was like on a machine. I think she had AIDS or something. Oh, no, cancer. I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah,
She
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
dying. And then when she, man, spoiler, excuse me, spoiler, for
Yeah,
anybody who haven't seen it, but man, that hit different. And I really did enjoy that show. That's one of my favorites too.
yeah.
It's definitely up there.
Second, I would have to say we didn't get. I think it was only one season. We didn't get much more of it. It's called Erased. It's
Ooh,
kind
my
of,
wife loves that.
dude. I love that show so much.
She loves that show.
There's no there is powers. I guess there's one power that he has. He's able to go back in time and with the whole
Hmm.
butterfly thing. But that show is just like, it was so good. And speaking of crying, that was one show that I was like, oh shit.
I haven't seen it, but my wife, man, kept telling me, "Hey, can you sit down and watch this?" And I was just, I don't know what I was doing or why I wouldn't. I think I
Yeah,
was maybe hooked on a video game or something. I don't know.
yeah.
But she kept telling me, and man, she watches it. She still watches it. And
It's
like I get mad because I be like, "Yo, you watch these shows over and over," and that's one of them
mhm.
that she watches consistently.
It's so good. I mean, everything about it is perfect. And I didn't watch it in the dub. I watched it in sub. But I thought everything was just, it was so good. Um, I don't know if there's like a top three or whatever, but I really enjoy like the cooking ones. Any kind of like
Mm.
the slice of life ones, I really do enjoy those. Food Wars was one that I really enjoyed, just purely based off of the how good the food looked, aside from people's clothes falling off for no reason.
What about
Um,
Delicious in Dungeon? That was another
that's really
food
good.
one.
My wife and I, we love the hell out of that one. It's so good. Especially it being like they're making like modern dishes with monsters, which is a super cool take. And then one that my wife really enjoys, and I'm pretty sure season two is coming out pretty soon, is Campfire Cooking in Another World.
Mm.
That one
I
is,
gotta get into that one. I'll probably watch Delicious Dungeon because it is nominated for Anime
yeah,
of the Year. So I'll probably definitely check that one out because I never seen shows like that, like Food Wars. So I definitely probably check that one out. Speaking of that, I think we did get your take, right? You said you're going for Kaiju number 8 for Anime of the Year.
I have to. I mean,
You said, I have to, man.
what
There's no other
what else
way.
do you
Sean
do?
Gann,
Sean's gonna pull
myself.
me in the studio. I'm like, I heard what you said. I'm like, please don't kill me.
So, hey,
But it's
man,
still, I mean, it's a great show. I think it's got it. I think it's got it.
I'm gonna give my prediction on the show here, even though this will probably we'll probably get the announcement before this interview drops. But if I'm right, let me know, chat. I think Farron. I think Farron
Yeah, yeah.
is gonna kill it, man. And if not, I think Apothecary Diaries got a great shot, and Gann is ADR that one as well.
Yeah, yeah, he
So
is.
he
Yeah.
he's hitting. So he has a great percentage of winning this thing with Kaiju number 8 and Apothecary Diaries, man. Big shout out to Sean Gann. Would love to have you back on the show, especially if you win one of those, man. Congrats to you
Oh
just
yeah.
for the nominees alone. But yeah, that's amazing. Now, this one we're gonna go a little. You know what I mean? I ask this question to everybody who comes on the show. It's a universal question.
Yeah.
Now you can go with the obvious answers. You can go with the goats, the Mel Blancs, things like that, or you can go more personal, like people who impacted your life, inspired you. What is your Mount Rushmore of voice actors?
Damn. I work.
You like, man, you trying to get me fired, man,
Man,
blacklisted.
it's so funny because like, I don't know. I work with some of these people. Uh, you know,
He's like, bro, I gotta go to work tomorrow, man.
man, I do. I actually do have to go to the studio tomorrow. Um, I don't think I've ever told him this. But Landon McDonald, easily top five. That dude is wicked talented. I don't know if anybody's ever, I'm sure you have. He's, Buddy Daddies, Kaiju number 8, Fairy Tale Daima. I think he's done all of those. He is incredibly talented. Of course, I've got to put Bryce Papenbrook in there. Just it's Bryce Papenbrook. Um, Alex Lee, really good. I mean, he's really, really good. In fact, when I was at Crunchyroll, I think it was during my Greatest Alchemist show, I was going to the bathroom. He was coming out of the bathroom, and he was so damn intimidating. He has like hair in his face and all that. And I just wanted to be like, but the fan me was like, "Hey man, I've got something in the card. Can you just sign this really quick?" But like coworker me was like, "Hey, gotta play it cool." Um,
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I like what he does, and I'm a huge
yeah,
fan of Solo Leveling.
yeah, dude. I mean that those shows are so good. I love Solo Leveling so much. Um, what was that? 3 that I've named?
Yeah, you got one more.
One more. Oh man. Me. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's the
I'm
right
joking.
answer.
I
You
will
can't go wrong
never
with
I
that,
will
man.
never say that. I'll never say that. Um oh man, that's tough. I gotta go with Eric Vale. I think
Hey, I
I
love
think
it.
he's solid. And I've got a story about him too. I recently I sold my wife's car recently on Facebook Marketplace, and I guess I was talking to a kid that was with his dad when he was buying it, and he was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I'm a voice actor." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "I love anime. What have you seen you in?" And then I told him everything. I told him everything. Just I'll be honest with you. I've told him everything. So this is on him, but I guess we screwed up signing the title or whatever, so he had to come back and we had to re-sign the title, and he came back with these 3 Dragon Ball cards, and he's like, "Hey, I love your character in Dragon Ball," and I was like, "I don't know, I don't voice character in Dragon Ball," and so I signed these cards. They were really nice looking cards, and then I looked up the character afterwards, and I was like, this this dude thinks I'm Eric Vale.
Real.
So I told a few people in the studio about that, and so now there's a guy, Chris Rutledge, who he always calls me Eric Vale, but yeah, I think Eric Vale's easily top 5 right now.
That's a great list, man. I don't disagree with that list, man. They are all amazing and respected voice actors. I love that list actually.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna this is the last list we're gonna do before we get you out of here. But it, like again, it's your own personal list.
Hmm.
Who are your top 5 fictional characters of all time? You can go books, shows, video games, mangas, manhwas, anime, top 5 fictional characters.
Top 5 fictional characters. I am reading. I'm sure people have seen this before. The Silmarillion,
Mm.
which is like Lord of the Rings. Um, so I gotta go Aragorn.
Aragorn?
Yeah, as a number 1.
Wow, somebody just put Aragorn on a list too recently. Who was it? Man, I can't remember. It was somebody who voiced him too in a video game.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta go with him because not only did I voice the character, like I love oh, I'm missing his name. Go ahead, though. Continue.
um, Second one would be Ainzel Gon from Overlord. Um, I think that character's incredibly badass, and I love that show. Um, Third would be, it's got to be Link from Legend of Zelda. I've got him.
Hey, oh, you got the tag.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel about the live action movie coming out?
I hope it doesn't get screwed up. That's all I'll say about it. um, yeah, I'm a huge Zelda fan. Majora's Mask, Majora's Mask. Um, Fourth, I would probably go with
Tough
That's
list,
tough.
huh?
It is tough.
Every time I think of this list, it always changes for me. I'll be trying to
Man.
do it myself, and I'll be like, man, but him and her and
Yeah, I would say Cell from Dragon Ball.
that's actually an interest. I never heard that one.
Yeah, I think easily in the list. Such a badass character design. And then the last one, I would say, I don't Captain of Scraps from Seven Deadly Sins, the pig. Um,
More comic relief.
yeah, just because the character is so fun.
Man, who voiced?
I don't know. And it's gonna
It's-
bug me, so I'm gonna look it up. I
Yeah,
have
I
a feeling
kinda
I know who it is.
I think it's a woman. I
It
can't remember
is.
who. I know this name. My God.
It's Hawk.
I'm so mad at myself. I can't remember who voiced Hawk.
Christina Valenzuela.
That's who it
That's
is.
who it is.
Christina V, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so mad I forgot that. I'm like, yo, I know. Matter of fact, I've been trying to get Christina on for the 100th episode because we're about to do our 100th episode
yeah.
anniversary, annual episode, which is gonna be big. Heroes. If you're watching this, and this episode will probably be out after the 100th episode, but make sure no matter who it is, make sure you watch it. It's gonna be a banger. So make sure you check out for that. But yeah, okay, I like that top 5, man. That's a pretty good 5. I like that. Now, before we get up out of here, do you got any conventions or projects you're able to talk about?
I do have conventions in the pipeline. They haven't been solidified, so I don't want to, jinx it and not go to those.
So let people know where they can follow you at for, to keep up with the updates and dates and times and things like that.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, Zac Loera VO. That's where I will post all of my convention announcements. My Instagram and Facebook are just for friends and family. But yeah, I think that's it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you. Heroes, I definitely appreciate y'all too, man. Thank y'all so much for the continuous support. And for the support, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch at the milestone of 5K. The only thing you have to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe. And the more you comment, the more you show support, the more you get recognized. Big shout out to BK Numbers for the last PlayStation 5 giveaway. We're switching up from the PlayStation because, come on, it's 2025. If you ain't got one, get on your joint, man. That Switch 2 about to come out.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, make sure you check us out. And don't forget, all links for Zach will be in the description below. And make sure y'all check out possibly the greatest Alchemist of all times. I'll definitely be checking it out as well. And let us know how you feel in the comment section below. And put in your predictions for Crunchyroll's anime of the year. And until next time, if nobody told you, just know I love you, love yourself, pass that love on and love others. And until next time, we're out of here.
Saying it with me.